It's almost unbelievable. To provide the people of Pakistan with affordable and durable car lifts, this modest little factory in Pakistan began using low-cost spiral welded pipes to produce high-cost performance hydraulic car lifts. The thick spiral welded pipes in front of us are the raw materials used to make the lift cylinder barrels. The workers fix them onto a lathe and patiently and carefully machine the ends of the pipes to a smooth even state. Once the steel pipes are finished, the workers transfer them to the roadside. Next they fit a flange onto one end of the pipe and spot weld the flange and pipe together. Then they stand the assembly upright and proceed to full welding along the joint to enhance the connection strength while ensuring the welded seal has no leaks. After welding is complete, the workers move the pipe back into the workshop. They use the lathe to carefully machine the flange to ensure its surface is even and smooth. Next they make the end cap for the other end of the steel tube. The workers drill holes in a round plate, then carefully weld a small tube onto its surface. After that they join the steel tube and end cap together, using electric welding to carefully weld the seam. Now the steel tube can be placed horizontally on the ground. They insert the pre-made air pipe into the hole in the end cap and weld the pipe in place to seal it. Then they use a U-shaped steel bar to protect the air pipe, preventing deformation and damage. Next the workers weld an air valve onto the top of the steel tube. This way compressed air can be injected through the air pipe, which will move the piston and perform the lifting action. Now they need to make the piston rod. The workers place an end cap inside the steel pipe, then use electric welding to seal it along the edge. After that they place a flange onto it and carefully weld it in place. This creates the connection interface with the lifting frame. The welding at the other end is relatively simpler. They only need to insert a limiting steel ring outside the pipe and weld the pre-made end cap onto the pipe. Next they use the lathe to carefully machine the piston rod, ensuring that its dimensions meet the required specifications. Then they use sandpaper to roughly polish its surface. The smoothness of the piston rod directly affects the airtightness of the cylinder. Therefore 3 workers use a grinding wheel to carefully polish the surface, then use a polishing wheel for fine polishing. Once polishing is complete they place it in an electroplating tank for surface treatment, coating the piston rod with a layer of hard coating, making the surface smoother and more wear resistant. After chromium plating is finished the workers use the polishing wheel again to give the piston rod a final mirror-like shine. Meanwhile another worker is making the cylinder's sealing end cap. After making a flange of the right size, they weld it onto a specially made steel pipe, which will fix the piston and seal the cylinder. Next the worker places the piston rod into the steel tube, carefully installs the sealing end cap, and fixes the piston rod at the center of the steel tube. Then they place a rubber sealing ring on the piston rod to enhance the overall sealing performance of the cylinder. The assembly is then fully secured with bolts to make the lift more aesthetically pleasing. The workers carefully paint its surface. Once the workers have welded the lifting frame, the entire assembly is ready for delivery to the customer. So after seeing the whole process, what do you think of this homemade hydraulic lift?